here we are, this is who we are.
Well, here we are on YouTube, and this is going to be an epic event, Ryan, because it's just, I am completely clueless and in the dark as to what we're doing right now. I'm just starting this off and handing it over to you because you know a whole lot more about what's going on right now.
Not much more. Honestly, this is a Patreon request. So Orlando gave us payments for all 5 or whatever self-titled mini docs that Beyonce put on her YouTube channel. She wants people to watch her talk about or examine or reflect on. I don't know. We'll see what part 1's all about, and we'll get an idea of what these docs are about. I think there's only 5 of them. Yeah, I'm excited. So we, at the time of this recording, we've completely reacted to Beyonce's self-titled album. For the record, if you're listening to this, part 1 got blocked, like blocked.
Hard blocked.
It was hard blocked. So it was available. We actually had like 10,000, which is big for our channel. So we had like 10,000 people watch the first part, and it got blocked. Like after a week, they came back and said, no. So I say that because if you're watching this on YouTube and you want us to see part 1 of our self-titled journey, because that's in reflection to this whole documentary that we're doing, it's on Patreon. I'm sorry, that's where you can find it. It's on there. It's behind the paywall.
That's where it's going to have to live.
That's where it is. It's right there. Okay, we'll announce it with each part. I'll be a little bit quicker about it next time, but for part 1, that's where it is. Parts 2 is hopefully not going to get blocked. I don't know why I got blocked, Nathan. So I don't know if it's a certain song or what, but because we did 4 videos per video, like, so I don't know if there's a certain video that they're like, no, that one we don't want, because every other Beyonce video has made it through. So that's weird. Yeah,
it is odd.
So Nathan, here we go. Self-titled documentary, part 1.
Excellent.
And each one does have a title. I think it will show us what it's about. It gives you an idea what it's about.
I see music. It's more than just what I hear. When I'm connected to something, I immediately see a visual or a series of images that are tied to a feeling or an emotion, a memory from my childhood. Thoughts about life, my dreams or my fantasies, and they're all connected to the music. And I think it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a visual album. I wanted people to hear the songs with the story that's in my head, because it's what makes it mine. That vision in my brain is what I wanted people to experience the first time.
Okay, so interesting. So she's a very visual person. So when she creates art or music, she's seeing a visual representation of her lyrics, her songs, and she almost has the video maybe playing on her mind or whatever it is. She's going to perform on stage or in a video.
It's like a filmmaker, basically. That's how I often think, as like when I'm filming something like a wedding or whatever, I'm always like, what's the music that's happening right now with these images? And I try to imagine, or if I like throw that up on the screen and I look at my I call it my palette, but it's just all of the shots that's what I'm doing is it's like, what goes with this? That's very cool. Yeah.
Hey, Nate, look at that. We're actually wearing her colors. I'm wearing her top. You're wearing her bottom. I don't mind wearing her top. Okay. But isn't that funny? We're wearing the colors. It just struck me. It's weird. It's very apropos that we paused there. Okay. There's something else I was going to say. Darn it. Oh, her speaking voice. I just how she sounds. She has a great speaking voice.
Oh yes, yeah. Very like.
You know what I'm saying? Very soft, soothing. It's very I don't know. I just listened to her talk.
She should narrate stuff. Like I wonder if she's ever narrated stuff because it's
her documentary she did a little bit. Remember?
Okay,
we talked about that.
Yeah, but I mean, like she could narrate a nature video, right? And it would be fine. Like she's got that kind of easy to listen to voice.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's done something like that.
Also, she does more than Lemonade film. Okay, so we'll see that. That's the intro. There you go. The visual album. Okay.
I feel like right now, people experience music differently. I remember seeing Thriller on TV with my family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was an event. We all sat around the TV, and I'm now looking back, I'm so lucky I was born around that time. I miss that immersive experience. Now, people only listen to a few seconds of a song on their iPods.
It's even worse. TikTok is a big place where people get their music from, like my kids, or I heard that song on TikTok, and it's not a criticism, just again, it's the opposite. She just mentioned this is the way music has changed. You and I, when we were younger, we're definitely Beyonce's. We're older than Beyonce by I think 6 years. So I don't know what she's saying there about. No offense to Beyonce, because I was in '82 when Thriller came out. We were 7. Beyonce was 1. I'm just saying, like she may have watched it again on or MTV when she was older. Is all I'm saying. But she might be. I'm not correcting Beyonce, but she might be conflating two different memories. Just hear me out, because she is 43. So I'm just saying she would be 1 year old when Thriller came out. When Bad came out in '87, she would have been, would have been 6 years older. So she would have been 7 or 8 years old. When Bad came out, that was a big televised event for Michael Jackson's Bad video. It was a huge event. It was a televised event, a big video premiere. So she might be conflating two different memories, where she remembers seeing Thriller, but also her family would have gathered around as well for Bad. Still a Michael Jackson video, because we did that. I remember doing that. I remember the house I was living in. I remember being excited. Our whole family gathered around for the big Bad video premiere on TV. That was a big event. Anyways, I don't know if Thriller had that event. I don't really remember it when I was 7 or 8 years old. I just remember. I do
remember seeing Thriller coming out, like being. And I know it wasn't that I wasn't. Let me put it this way: I watched it afterwards because people said, "Oh, you got to see Thriller." Of course, Thriller. Yeah. It's so cool. You got to see this. And I don't know how I ended up seeing it, whether it was a recording or just they're going to show it at this time, and so then I saw it then. But I was completely blown away by Thriller, and mostly because they're just like Beyonce's saying, there's such an emotion that goes with that particular song. And everything about that, like, it was such a catchy tune.
Oh yeah,
right. I don't know if a song like Thriller has come around. It doesn't come around very often.
No, well, or that album in general, of course. What I'm also getting at, she's absolutely correct. That being said, timeline is irrelevant, but the point is that we did do that as families. We'd gather around, and you and I, when we bought CDs, remember we used to buy CDs, and we'd have a listening party in our bedroom. We'd put in the CD. And we would just sit and we listen to music on the CDs and just listen.
And mentally take notes. Oh, that's going to be when I'm going to listen to that one again.
Well, we had it was a reaction channel to each other.
It literally was, yeah.
Like we would react. Oh yeah. And we who wrote that song? Which band member wrote that song? Or I miss those days. Okay, so I agree with Beyonce. I miss those days. Yeah. We did it. Here's a real quick story. So 1991. We were 16 years old. Did you go with me on this trip? I can't remember the downtown Victoria. So my mom, bless her heart, and I'm always surprised my mom let us do this sort of stuff, because I was raised in a pretty conservative family. But they weren't strict, but we were conservative. If that makes we were a conservative family, but they weren't really strict. They gave us a lot of leeway. I guess they just trusted us. But so we took. My mom gave me and my brothers the day off from school. She said, because there's the new Guns N' Roses album coming out. And
I was there.
You were with, okay. So we got school off. Like, we didn't have to go to school. We caught a bus downtown. Wait, and there was a lineup for the CD around the block. And we were getting nervous. Like, hopefully the store stocked enough CDs. Yeah. Grabbed the CD. Took the bus home. Hold it up. We looked at this, read everything, read lyrics. The music couldn't wait to, like, we started, not fantasizing, but guessing what each song would sound like.
Oh yeah, and we had heard some of the early releases before, right? Yeah, these are the days when those early releases would come out, and then you would oh yeah, that song. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, because Terminator 2 came out and it had "You Could Be Mine" on the soundtrack, so we already knew that song before the album. Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War. We were like, Civil War is the B-side, and anyways, here we are geeking out. We're just geeking out with Beyonce. These were real events with music. Nowadays, it's like, that's it, good.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's too bad. Kids don't know. Yeah.
They don't really invest in a whole album.
Oh.
It's all about the single and
Yeah.
the hype. It's so much that gets between the music and the artist and the fans. I felt like I don't want anybody to give the message when my record is coming out. I just want this to come out when it's ready, and from me to my fans. I told my team I want to shoot a video for every song and put them all out at the same time.
Yeah.
Everyone thought I was crazy, but we're actually doing it. It's happening.
Oh, her smile, boy.
I wanted to make this body of work, and I feel like it's something that's lost in pop music. I wanted people.
And she felt this way 10 years ago or whatever it was, right? This is
I
10
know.
years, like,
It's worse now. Yeah.
To hear things differently and have a different first impression. Not just listen to a 10-second clip, but actually be able to see the whole vision of the album. It was important that we made this a movie. We made this an experience. I wanted everyone to see the whole picture and to see how personal everything is to me. I would make my best art and just put it out. And that's why it's out today.
Continue to part 2. All right, Nathan, stand by for part 2. We'll end that there. So, any last thoughts before we close up this video?
That's fascinating to me that Beyonce is saying, like, well, let me just like back my mind up to
of course.
the very, very beginning when we started with Beyonce. Okay. I, like a lot of artists, have made assumptions, and all those assumptions are wrong about the way that successful artists approach their music. And it's not that I really assumed this about Beyonce. I assumed this about not successful, but the ones that are in the millions and billions of dollars, that they're just chasing the money. And I can see, well, and I've long since abandoned that idea with Beyonce. I know that she is an artist to the heart, to the core. But the idea that she said, I'm going to do it the old school way. And not only that, I'm going to like make this whole thing a visual experience that I give to the fans, the true fans who really want to be a part of that. It's such a great, it's not that it's like a marketer might say, oh, that's probably not going to make the kind of money we're hoping for. But what it ends up doing is it endears the fans to Beyonce so that they feel like they're connected. And I think I like that way more than than a lot of other approaches that artists are doing today, right? It sure feels like a lot of artists are just doing the like, just give me my money, here's my soundbite, boom, sign some things, some autographs, and then I'm done. Beyonce doesn't feel like that at all.
Yeah, and before people at me in the comments, I'm sure they already have on YouTube anyways, people are saying that Thriller was the last single to release on the album, so maybe it was a couple years later. She's a little bit older, but she remembers her family doing it. Okay, I'm not. It's not a huge deal. I'm just saying, when Thriller actually came out, like the day it came out, she was 1 year old. But you're right; it could have taken a couple of years before the single dropped or the video dropped. Yada yada yada. She was older enough. We have memories when you're 3 years old. That's fair. So okay, I just don't want. Because Beyonce would never be wrong about anything. But I would suspect she also watched the Bad release as well. I would suspect they did that as well. And she would have been older for that as well. Okay. I agree with everything you're saying, Nathan. I don't want to hammer it too much more. It's great to see that she has a visual vision of what she wants for music, and she doesn't cater to the company. This is her album. And I like how she's like, I release albums, and that's why we like her a lot. I love her. I would say even that she makes it clear it's an event. She releases albums. She's not releasing things. And that's why at the very beginning of our journey, and I understand more now, of course, because we didn't know anything. We didn't know Beyonce from any other artist that we don't know. We didn't know anything about her. Yeah, so we started just reacting to songs that she did, because you can do that for other artists, and there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can listen to, let's just pick a arbitrary band that you and I enjoy. Like we both like AC/DC. You can pick, you can pick a hit from that album that, there's no story. You can just say that might be the first singer and that's the second singer story, but that's about it. It's just check out this rock and roll song, and but I get it now with her, that she has a vision. There's a reason why the song means what it means. There's a story to be told. So now that we've gone more or less in order with her albums, I'm seeing that now, and that's why we're doing it. So yeah. Anyways, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone.
Oh,
part one done.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Thanks everyone for that one. We'll see you on the next one.